What it do, YouTube? It's your boy, Young Jupiter, Big Jupiter, or you can just call me Jupiter. Just make sure you call me. Before we get into this video, if you can, subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask. Hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask of you. Today we got 8 insane longest prison sentences ever in 2022. Now, I done seen some videos like this before. Well, I was seeing 2,000 years, 15,000. Shit be ridiculous, bro. So I can only imagine what these are going to be. And I've actually seen people like beat them because they get out like on some type of technicality or something. But yeah, I'm gonna link to the original video down below if y'all want to check it out for yourself. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's check out some devious criminals who committed crimes so grave that they were given thousands and even at times millions of years of imprisonment by the court. Number 8. Gabriel March Granados. Gabriel March Granados was faced with a sentence impossible to comprehend or even serve, which was thousands of years of hard time in a Spanish prison.
Damn.
Why did he get this insane sentence? Well, 18-year-old Gabriel started working with the Mallorca, Spain post office in 1968. During a 2-year tenure with the nation's mail service, which ended in
I can already see it. Was he still in mail? Had to be. Man, do people not realize that is federal crime? Even I know that.
1970, Gabriel committed some pretty serious federal crimes. The provincial court prosecutor pursued charges against Gabriel after investigating irregularities in his work. What the government found was that Gabriel had allegedly committed 42,768 crimes of infidelity in the custody of documents and theft. Basically, Gabriel hadn't delivered over 40,000 pieces of mail during his 2 years working.
Bro, 40,000 pieces of mail wasn't delivered, and you didn't think they wasn't gonna notice? Idiot.
As a postman, Gabriel attested during his trial that he stashed the pieces of mail in various hiding spots in his office and home, disposing of the personal documents and keeping the checks, cash, and other things of value for himself. Of those pieces of mail, the publication claims that Gabriel opened about 30,000 regular and 4,800 urgent parcels that contained checks worth the equivalent of roughly $50,000 today.
See, and that's right here, right now. Oh, but that at the time, it was back in the day. But see, that's why you get direct deposit, bro. Don't mess with them checks just to be on the safe side.
Prosecutors attempted to pursue a record-breaking jail sentence for Gabriel, asking the judge for 384,912 years, which translates to 9 years for each of the pieces of mail that he didn't deliver. In the end, the postman was only charged with 2 different criminal counts, which resulted in him spending 14 years and 2 months incarcerated in Spain.
So it went from thousands of years to only 14? That ain't nothing. And you probably only might do like 10. Wow.
Alan McLaurin and Darren Anderson. These 2 criminals are known for getting 21,000 years of sentence for child abuse.
Damn.
They committed a series of crimes that included sexual assault on an elderly woman for several hours, and they later rammed the car of the woman off the road in the Tulsa country. McLaurin was accused of kidnapping, rape, and robbery. McLaurin had an accomplice, Darren Anderson. Back in
What do y'all get out of this, bro? Like, what?
750, the offender was sentenced to 1,993 years, but Anderson was not satisfied with this sentence and he asked for a reconsideration of the case. After re-examining the episodes with the participation of a man, the judge sentenced Darren to 11,000 years in prison. One of the subsequent appeals of the prisoner led to the fact that he was mowed down for half a millennium. McLaurin appealed after getting the sentence and got 500 years reduced from the total sentence. Number 6.
What is that gonna do? You still got that time. You happy because you got 500 years off your sentence, boy.
Scott Robinson. A judge who said he was weary of criminals serving only a portion of their time sentenced a man convicted of raping children to 30,000 years in prison. The jury that convicted Charles Scott Robinson had recommended 5,000 years in prison for each of the 6 counts against him. Jurors who couldn't sentence him to life without parole said they wanted Robinson behind bars for good. Robinson's previous convictions were for nonviolent crimes of burglary, attempted burglary, concealing stolen property, and possession of a stolen vehicle. He was given a total of 30,000 years sentence for 6 different counts of sexual assault on a 3-year-old girl. He got sentenced in 1994 in the U.S. for child abuse and still spending his life in prison. Oklahoma is very well known for providing tough sentences. When it came to the case of Charles Scott Robinson, They did the same and provided a long sentence to him. The court gave all the sentences consecutively to make sure that he did not get to walk free again. The sentence is the longest recorded sentence that was given as an appeal result. Number 5. Terry Nichols. A federal judge sentenced Terry Nichols to life in prison, the maximum, for his role in the 1995 bombing of the Oklahoma City Federal Building, referring to the man as an enemy of the Constitution. The then 43-year-old man showed no emotion as the judge imposed the sentence of life without parole for conspiring to use a weapon of mass destruction. Although he tried to pull out of the attack on a federal government building at the last minute, in the end he got 161 life sentences plus 9,300 years without parole for helping
Bro, why don't they just get them life? If anybody knows anything about like why they give them these thousands and thousands of years, why don't they just give them life? If anybody knows, let me know. Cause I still never understood that concept. Just give them life without parole ever.
Former soldier Timothy McVeigh carry out the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing, in which 168 people died, including 19 children. Timothy McVeigh was convicted of murder and sentenced to death. The deadly homegrown terrorist Nichols was placed in the U.S. highest security prison, the Administrative Maximum Facility in Florence, Colorado, to serve his life sentence. Nichols also shares the same cell block as Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, Olympic Park bomber Eric Rudolph, and Ramzi Youssef, a Pakistani convicted of the 1993 World Trade Center attack on the Twin Towers. Number 4. Bobby Joe Long. For 3 years, Bobby Joe Long operated as the so-called classified ad rapist, but it wouldn't be long before he graduated from a serial rapist to a serial killer. For 8 months in 1984, Bobby Joe Long kidnapped, raped, and murdered 9 young women in the Tampa Bay area of Florida before inexplicably choosing to let one of them go. That choice proved to be his undoing, as she would later help to put him away, ending his murder streak and sending him to death row where he would be lethally injected 35 years later. Lisa McVeigh, the awe-inspiring girl, managed to survive the gruesome kidnapping and get Long convicted. During his interrogation, Long first confessed to his crimes against McVeigh.
And to think if he wouldn't have let her go, nobody probably would have ever caught him or got him. Man, good thing he let her go.
He denied involvement in the other murders, but on hearing the evidence police had, particularly the red carpet fibers from his car, he confessed. By the end of his interrogation, detectives attributed Long to 10 murders and McVeigh's rape and kidnap. A plea bargain was agreed upon in which Long pled guilty to 8 of the 10 murders. Long subsequently received 28 life sentences for murder, rape, including those rapes he committed as the classified ad rapist, and kidnapping. Bobby Joe...
Bro, I feel like they shouldn't even get the slightest chance to get out, bro. That's how I look at it. They shouldn't even get the slightest chance.
Long was sentenced to death for Michelle Sims' murder. Number 3. Billy Joe Godfrey. One of the longest prison sentences in the world is Billy Joe Godfrey's, who was found guilty of 35 counts of sodomy. He pleaded guilty of raping 2 children between 1995 and 1999. Phelps County prosecuting attorney Brendan Fox said that it was the worst case of child abuse he has ever seen. It all came out in the open when his adult stepson came forward and revealed that he had been abused between the ages of 3 and 10 years old. An investigation found that he also abused an unnamed girl at the same time.
Jeez.
Godfrey was sentenced to 35 life sentences to be served consecutively, the equivalent of 1,050 years. The judge agreed and vowed that Godfrey will never take another breath or free year. Number 2. Martin Bryant. Bryant shot 35 people and wounded another 23 in the 1996 Port Arthur massacre after being inspired by the Dunblane massacre in Scotland. Although he was found to have severe intellectual disabilities, he was judged fit to stand trial and given 1,035 years without parole, in addition to a life sentence for every count of murder. The massacre led to stricter gun controls being introduced in Australia. Number 1. Chamoy Thipiasso.
Number 1 is a woman? Damn!
Thipiasso, living in Thailand, is known for receiving the world's longest prison sentence. Thipiasso was sentenced to 141,078 years for her involvement in a pyramid scheme that duped more than 16,000 Thailand natives. She was the wife of a high-ranking member of the Royal Thai Air Force and an employee of the Petroleum Authority for Thailand. This gave her a very powerful position in society. Thipiasso's connections with the Air Force and Petroleum Authority made it appear that she had the military's backing with her endeavor. This made people feel safe when they invested, but she defrauded people out of approximately $300 million.
Damn.
It was much later that a law was passed in Thailand that no matter how long the sentence was given to a criminal in a fraud case, they could not be kept in prison for more than 20 years. It was because of this law that the Piasso was released only after 8 years.
No. See, I told you. I told you I've seen people get out like that. It's always because they get out on some type of technicality.
Despite having conned some members of the royal household. The Piasso was held in secret by the Air Force, and her trial did not occur until the losses for the military and royal personnel involved had been recovered. That's all for this video, folks.
Damn, bro. See, I told you I've seen people beat these type of things before, because it's always on some type of technicality. That's crazy. Man, y'all stay safe and stay dangerous out there. That's the end of today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you will. I'm out.